But listen, obviously we talked about players outside the top 12. How do you think the first round should go? If you're just going, all right, these are my top guys, and I don't care how crazy it is, bro, because everybody's gonna have their own top 12. But let me hear your first round and how it should go.
I mean, you're kind of getting me in the mode of moving Giannis out the first round, but I'm not going to do it quite yet. First overall has got to be Wemby. Second, Jokic. Luka third. SGA fourth. Embiid fifth. Anthony Davis sixth. Halliburton 7. Tatum 8. Trae Young 9. Anthony Edwards 10. James Harden 11. And I feel like I'm forgetting someone. And I'm going to go. Oof.
Yeah, now it gets to that Giannis, Steph, D. Mitch.
I think I'm going to go Giannis 12.
All right. So we're agreed on the 1 and the 2. I think you said Shea third too, or you said Luka third?
Luka third.
Yeah, and you had Shea fourth. All right. So we're agreed on the 1 and 2. So my number 1 is Wemby. Second, I'm going with Jokic. Third, I'm going with Shea. Fourth, I got Tyrese Halliburton here on the fourth. The fourth pick. Luka fifth. And I kind of don't like that Luka pick, but I think the novelty of I have to show respect to him. I don't like taking Luka there. But Luka fifth. Sixth, I got AD, Anthony Davis.
Agreed there.
Seventh, I got Embiid. Eighth, I got Anthony Edwards. Ninth, I got Chet. Yeah, we can get up there. 10th, I got Tatum. 11th, I got Harden. 12th, I got Trae.
Okay.
The one name that you and I both had in there that might surprise some people is Trae Young. Like, you had him up really high, higher than most. And then, like, I feel like I probably, I don't know if he's even going in the first round right now. But Trae Young, man, talk about why you have him ranked a little higher.
Yeah, so Trae's right now, his ADP is just moving out of the first round. And I don't know why that is going that direction. I actually feel it should be going up. With DeJounte Murray out there, like, I think we're going to be seeing potentially a 20-30% usage rate with Trae. And I think it's the pieces that fit around him. Offensively, like, he's never had trouble getting his shot off, right? So the points, we already got that locked down. I'm more encouraged by what he can do in the assists and potentially on defense too. Now that you don't have, like, DeJounte Murray was playing various roles for that team. He was their defensive stopper, their point of attack defender. And Trae Young's not a good defender, but that doesn't mean that he can't get steals. Allen Iverson wasn't a good defender, but he was, always getting 1.5 steals per game. So I think there's going to be lanes and opportunities, just given the length and size that Atlanta prioritized, that Trae's going to get some definitely some benefits of, some loose balls, steals, whatever. But really the centers around, I don't think there's any other person in the league that can average 25 points with 10 assists. Shoot maybe threes. Luka. Who?
Maybe Luka.
Yeah, maybe Luka. That's true. Luka and Jokic probably could too. Yeah. But so point guard. Yeah, Luka's the only other one that could probably do that. And if you're looking at that volume and that opportunity, to me, like, there's only a handful of players that have that. So to me, he has to be a first round pick. Fred VanVleet has been a very good fantasy player, even though he doesn't shoot a good field goal percentage. So, like, don't let that deter you from Trae Young. He does other things really well. And I think this is going to be one of those years. It's going to be a pivotal year for him because the Atlanta Hawks are, like, in that weird spot of, like, are we rebuilding? Are we not? Are we competing? Are we not? We got bad contracts. He could request a trade tomorrow, and I wouldn't be surprised. So this is about to be raising his stock, putting himself in the best position to either get Atlanta to win or increase his trade value so that he can, go play with a contender.
If you are on a losing team, which the Hawks will probably be a losing team again this year, it's all about your numbers at that point. And there's a post he made. He said about this year was about staying healthy. Only played 54 games last year. He said this year was about staying on the floor, making himself available, and that was a big focus for him. And I think the one thing with Trae Young is that he has, like, outlier potential this year. I'm not saying that he gets there, but he has that potential when it comes to his three ball. Like Steph Curry, obviously, with the 4 threes a game, like, that's what we want. If you're gonna take a chance on threes early, that's what you want. And so when you get that paired with 10 assists, even if the field goal percentage isn't great, it's like now this team is going. We know for sure this team is counting on Trae Young to be their guy. Potentially a 30-point scorer, potentially more shots, more usage, like you mentioned. I think the upside is there. And I think the one hit you have to take is at the defensive stats and at the field goal percentage, but it's not so much to where it's an anchor for your team, where you have to punt the category. Maybe if the field goal percentage drops a little too low. But we've seen Trae Young be a 45, 46% guy in the past before DeJounte Murray got there. So maybe they're playing a little bit more to his strengths. Maybe he's taking better shots. But I do agree. I think Trae Young might be a little undervalued right now because of what we've seen over the last couple of years.
2 years ago, when he played 76 games, 11th in per game value. Shot 46% from the field, 90% from the line, hit 3 threes a game. And this was before he was even averaging, the last couple seasons, he's averaged over a steal per game. He was at to 1.3 last year. You combine all that together, I think that they know, like, all right, Trae was at his best when he didn't have this, like, usage to share with another point guard, combo guard. So it's about to be wheels up for Trae.
It's like he doesn't have to pick his spots. Like the offense goes through him for better, for worse. It's not like, oh, should I defer right now? Am I the guy right now? He clearly will know what his role is this season, which I think is a good thing for him. Another player that's kind of in here that we both have in our top 12 that a lot of people might be like, huh? Especially if you haven't been consuming a lot of basketball content this year, James Harden. You know, obviously getting older. Last year we were getting him in like 4th, 5th round value at a steal when he had all this shit going on with the Sixers. Now we both have him in our top 12. Talk to me why you got him in your top 12, man.
I think it starts with Kawhi Leonard and it ends with Paul George. Paul George is out of there, and Kawhi Leonard already is telling us that, yo, I got off-season surgery on my knee. I got to get load managed. He just played, 70 games, or what did he play, 68 or 70 games? I think he made 68 games, something like that.
Felt like a full season for him.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the fact that he's already saying, like, yo, man, I'm trying to play for the playoffs. I don't even know if the Clippers are going to make it to the playoffs. If you look at their roster up top to bottom, very uninspiring. So, like, to me, the only players that I'm really looking at in fantasy right now, James Harden and Ivica Zubac. And James Harden hasn't averaged, I think he averaged his lowest points per game since the 2016-2017 season when he was a 6th man. He's going to have to up that scoring load because this team they don't have enough scores. Terrence Mann, nah. Norman Powell will have his spots, but like who else is really going to contribute outside of him and Kawhi? So I think this is going to be an opportunity for you. I mean, you could get a 20-10 potential guy in the 2nd round right now. Like we have him as 1st round grades because I think he's going to be one of the few guys that can put up, those type of first round caliber numbers. But he's going to get a steal. Similar to Trae, his field goal percentage might suffer, but you're going to make it up in his high free throw percentage, the volume that he has in free throws, and as well as the assists and the threes. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a nice season that you can get Harden at a pretty good discount considering that he has the capability, just given the usage and the opportunity to be a top, 1st round pick.
Well, the money talks. It's like you don't pay Paul George, you pay James Harden. You let Russell Westbrook go. And that's another scorer that like kind of took on that superstar role for this Clipper team. Now, you mix that in with Kawhi missing games, and that's a lot of scoring that's going to be on James Harden's shoulders. And the last time we've seen him with that much responsibility, we know he's a 30-point guy. I don't know if he quite gets to 30. I think that's a big ask for a player that's probably in the middle end to back end of his career. But when James Harden is the guy and he's taking the volume of shots that he does, it's not like he can't hit shots anymore. It's not like he can't play. It's the teams haven't needed him to be this. And I think just looking at some of his usage in the preseason, we got him doing the fake pump fake step backs. Like it looks like the creative James Harden is back and the one that knows, okay, this offense runs through me. You got guys like, what is it, Derek Jones Jr. and Norman Powell. And it's like the supporting pieces. It's not like there's a ton of, it's not like there's a ton of supporting scoring pieces on this team. So if this team is going to be a playoff team or have playoff aspirations, if they're going to put up 105 points a game, Harden's got to score damn near 30 a game in order to do that. So unless Kawhi is available for 80 games this year, I really don't see a world where James Harden isn't just this big usage monster that helps dominate with our teams. And we know he's an elite free throw guy. Yeah, the turnovers are going to be there, but steals are often up with James Harden. Like, I think there's a lot to like with Harden in the 1st round.
Yeah, I think it's okay to assume he's going to get back to like, 21, 22 points per game. We're not going to get to like, prime MVP, 27.
You don't think there's a world where he gets like 25 a game, 27 a game?
Maybe if it feels like a stretch. I mean, he hasn't done that since what? 2019
when he was with the
with
the Rockets or with the Nets.
Rockets.
With the Nets, he was with Kyrie. He with Kyrie and KD.
He was sharing,
he's sharing in Philly with Embiid, and it's like this is the one time we get to see him. Like,
I feel you. 25 is not crazy. If the workload is going to be what we're assuming, and there's not that much scoring opportunities outside of him and Kawhi, then yeah, he's probably going to need to get at least 25. Can he get 30? Awesome, but like 25 seems like the maximum that I think we're going to see for him. And I misspoke earlier. I think he hasn't scored. His 16 points per game was his lowest since 2011. So, you know what I'm saying? That seems like an outlier though, right? Like his scoring has been trending down, but it's also trending down because of the players that he was playing with.
I'm thinking like this.
He was in a different role.
If he doesn't score 25 a game, how does this Clipper team win more than like 15 to 20 games?
I mean, that's the one problem that I have is like, if they're not good, is his hammy going to come up? You know what I'm saying? A little bit troublesome. He's going to have a sprained ankle.
Especially late in the year too.
I feel like Ballmer talked to him about this. Like, we got a new stadium. We got to get fans in the stadium. I need y'all to like be present in this. But it wouldn't surprise me if they're not good that, some kind of injury kind of pops up for Harden at some point in the season.
Well, hopefully not, man. Hopefully you draft him in the first round and he kills it for your fantasy team, man.